What it is, guys, it's your Dino. We're back again with another episode of the PAW Patrol Grand Prix, and we're going to get straight into it. I'm going to continue where we left off, which was adventure mode, and we're going to go on with the characters that we're playing as, which is Chase, the little fire engine truck guy, the little police car truck. Sorry, I don't know all the names of them. I know that there's Chase and Marshall, and that's all I know off the top of my head. Not really big into PAW Patrol as a something to remember, but I know that those two are the ones that I know the best. Chase is the one that does the police car, and Marshall is the fire truck. So I remember that. I remember watching Minigrim watch this, and he really got into it, and I'm glad he liked it. It's very nice to see shows like that. But we are going to continue, and we've got track 17. Yes, there are 17 tracks in this game. And the cool thing about it, it does have built-in accessibility features like auto drive, which allows for people who have disabilities to play the game quite easily, because all they need to do is press like space buttons, which is a lot easier with accessibility controllers from the likes of Microsoft and now Sony getting into that game where they have their accessibility controller. I mean, I'm not a fan of that one personally. I don't think it's as accessible as it could be. That's just my opinion. It's one of those that there's a lot of opportunity out there for improvement, and I feel that those are things that you need to be aware of. That's just my opinion, you know. There is a lot out there that you can do and get in there and try out. That's just one of those by the by, you know. I personally think that games like this are obviously definitely great games to get new gamers into it and get them involved. Definitely think it's a fun one, and I feel that they've done a good job with trying to support both fun for the whole family and fun for younger gamers who probably aren't as fine motor skill and able and stuff like that. The cool thing is this is a game that would appeal to people with disabilities, I feel, because it's a game that doesn't require as many gross motor skills and as many fine motor skills. They can all get involved, which would be a great game for an organization like Everyone Can, who I'm an ambassador for. Everyone Can is a charity that focuses on accessibility for people that have disabilities ranging from small to large things, like people with disabilities where they can't use wheelchair, like they have very small amounts of fine motor skills and they have to rely on accessibility controllers and a lot of accessibility tools that are made custom for them. And I feel like that is where this game would definitely shine for them, because they don't actually have to do a lot of the driving aspect of the game, which is great, because then they can just enjoy it and play along with people, and you can play up to 4-player split screen, and it does allow for them to game together, which is a great thing for people to do. And it's just great, you know. I like to try and be aware of that every time I play a game and every time I review one as well, because accessibility is super key for me, because I have disabilities myself, so does my son and my partner. And whilst we have a lot of fine motor skill in our hands, I also have motor tics that means that sometimes I play one-handed for a lot of my games. And games like this where I don't have to worry about having to do both the analog and the controller, the face buttons, means that I can just, if I'm having a bad day, I still have something that I can play. And I feel like that's a great thing for people with disabilities that range from being mild to severe and things that can escalate and cause you to be less mobile and less able one day and be more able the next, and it's just a great thing to be able to deal with, you know. That's just my opinion, and I feel that that's just something that is and should be more aware in the gaming space now, because we're in 2023 and there are so many different people out there with so many different disabilities and stuff like that, and the industry needs to become more aware. It's not okay for first party developers from Nintendo to release a game that has zero accessibility. I'm talking about Tears of the Kingdom here, but it's not accessible at all in that regard, you know, and that's just not cool. As a disabled person, that game can be quite limiting for me. If I'm having a bad day, I can't play it, you know. So having games that have an accessibility feature that you can turn on and off as and when you need it is great, and more companies, especially first party titles, should be aware of that a lot more. So I'd love to see Xbox and Sony and Nintendo be more aware of that going forward, in my opinion. And it's not like it's a no-brainer, because there's GAD, which is Global Accessibility Awareness Day, and they have their panels and their tools that are tools that allow for people to be more aware of the need for accessibility in gaming and the like. So to see it be completely overlooked makes me kind of sad, because it's an important thing and it shouldn't be overlooked, because it's a tool that many people may end up needing, or may end up needing all of a sudden if they are in a car accident or anything like that. And those tools should be made available to everyone. And I feel that as a person who is disabled, the fact that I can stand here and champion that and be a voice for that is a very important thing to me, because I love what I do, and if it wasn't for tools that have the ability to be used as accessibility controllers, for example the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller, I use that as my accessibility controller, so it helps me play and get involved with games that I would otherwise struggle with. So that's something that enables me to play with people, and to see that is, in my opinion, key and vital for people to be aware of, because you never know where you may end up in life, and having the ability to have a tool that is there if you need it is great. And as it's the saying, it's better to have it and not need it, or need it and not have it. And that's why I stand by that one, because it's an important thing. We live in 2023 now, and the amount of people who are disabled and the amount of disabled gamers there are, it's a no-brainer that more and more companies, especially first-party developers, should have those tools made available to them at the start. I use God of War as a benchmark for accessibility, in my opinion, because they did such a good job of having all those accessibility tools in God of War Ragnarok that it was honestly my game of the year for accessibility in a lot of ways, because it enabled me to play it and have fun. Yeah, there were some bugs in the game and stuff like that, but no game's perfect. Just like I've said with my review on Tears of the Kingdom, that game is let down by the hardware, and it's probably the worst Zelda game I've played. because of the hardware, because that game can't even maintain the limited clock speed, the limited like resolution and frame rates of the hardware when it's undocked, because it can't do it. It's unable to maintain that, and in my opinion, that's a crying shame. We should see more of that being made available, and I would love to see Nintendo stop making the Nintendo Switch and make a new console with a more powerful SoC, because if we don't get that sooner, it's going to hurt the Nintendo brand, in my opinion. Because I love Nintendo just as much as I love my Xbox and my PlayStation, and it's super important that we see these things happen, you know. But I always try and bring it up because as a voice for accessibility, you got to have the tools to be able to utilize that, and the Nintendo Switch is a very old and outdated piece of hardware. Even when it was first put into circulation, it used a chipset that was very, very old. Just the SoC just on the chip, and to see that still be allowed to be championed and get all this praise when the chipset is as antiquated as it is, doesn't make sense to me. I haven't heard that one because I got hit with so many things at the end. Come on, unlock the new pup. Every pup is the best pup. Unlock characters. There we go.
This looks fun. Let's do it.
Now we'll do the next one. Ice Mountain Freestyle. Jake Snowboarding Resort. I have no idea who Jake is. I thought this show was just about pups coming along and saving the day. I didn't know there was a person called Jake in it.
3, 2, 1, go! Ready for racing action.
Oh no. I don't get my boost.
On a roll. On a roll. On a roll.
Yeehaw.
On a roll. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yeah!
Go pup. Oh.
Woohoo! Yeah! 2 laps to go. Woohoo!
Ah.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
That's a lot of woohoo.
On a roll.
Almost much BU. Eee. I definitely think these games are fun. Good, wholesome fun. And that's a good thing to see, you know?
On a roll.
Way ahead.
On a roll. Yeah! 1, 2.
Go, go, go.
Yeah!
Go, go, go.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so I do think they did a very good job with the art style. I know it's not as flashy as some other games out there nowadays. It's a good design. And I do see a lot of the inspiration from the Gigantosaurus car race that I reviewed and played recently. There'll be a link to that in somewhere. I'll try and tag to that. You guys will see the difference. You'll see the similarities between the two
These pups are on
in a lot of the different aspects of the game.
Great job. You've unlocked the
But I
next
feel like
race.
it is a very simplistic cut and paste job for them to be able to do that, transition it over.
Good luck, Paw Patrol.
Hey, here we go.
3, 2, 1, go! Ready for action, Rider, sir. On a roll.
Oh,
Woohoo! On a roll.
ooh, back in the sea.
Woohoo! On a roll. On a roll. Yeah! On a roll. Yeah! 2 laps to go.
Ooh, lab to go.
Woohoo!
Go, go, go.
Yeah! On a roll. On a roll.
There are a lot of new games coming out real soon. We have PlayStation event tomorrow, which is where they're apparently doing their showcase. And I'm personally curious as to what they're going to show off, because I know a lot of people have speculated and said that the announcement has been completely leaked. But I don't know. I don't think it has. I'm kind of skeptical on that. They make these release sheets, and then sometimes they pull things from that list, and I feel like sometimes they do that on purpose, so as to get people hyped. And I feel like based on some of the rumored announcements, that may be the case.
Let's try this. Chase is on the case.
Ha 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 ha.
These pups are on a roll. Great job.
And as always, guys, greatly appreciate you being here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Remember to be safe, be well, have fun gaming, and as always, check out the rest of the content. It's linked down below or in the end card. There'll be a link to the previous episode and the playlist there. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.